For more on this, we're joined by CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams in Tel Aviv. All right, Holly, President says the conflict could end soon, 2 weeks, 2 days. But has there been any let-up in fighting with Iran this morning?
Hey there, Matt and Adriana. No is the answer to that. Not at all. The sirens rang out here in Tel Aviv several times this morning. We were in the bomb shelter, I think 4 times. Israeli first responders say that 14 people were injured this morning by missile fire, including an 11-year-old girl who's in serious condition with shrapnel wounds to her limbs. And there were also reports this morning that Iran had hit a tanker off the coast of Qatar, Kuwait airport again, sparking another fire, and a business facility in Bahrain. Also, late yesterday, Israel's military said that it had launched a wave of strikes in Iran over a 24-hour period, targeting 20 Iranian weapons production and research facilities. So there's a lot of talk about this war ending, but we're certainly not seeing it yet here on the ground in the Middle East.
Yeah, there seems to be this disconnect between what we're hearing from the White House in terms of the war winding down, negotiations with Iran, so, begging for a resolution, and then what you're reporting, what our colleagues are reporting from the ground, where there really hasn't been a let up. And, it's awful to hear about that girl who's in serious condition there. Holly, where do you think things go from here?
Well, it's interesting, Adriana. I guess you can look at it 2 ways. One is militarily and one is strategically. On the one hand, militarily, there's very little question that the US and Israel have been overwhelmingly successful. The US alone says it's hit more than 11,000 targets in Iran. Yesterday, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, claimed that Iran's Navy and Air Force were, quote, largely destroyed. Israel's military has told us that around 70% of Iran's ballistic missile launches have been neutralized. They also told us that Iran is no longer producing ballistic missiles, which is key. And obviously, as you know, several of Iran's top leaders have been killed by airstrikes. That has got to have an impact on their ability to communicate and govern. On the other hand, though, I think Iran has shown that it has a powerful economic card to play by effectively paralyzing traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, sending energy prices soaring, and potentially giving itself a better bargaining position. Despite the fact that President Trump has talked about regime change already happening in Iran, it's still an Islamic republic. It still has the same ideology. And it's perhaps true that Iran's leaders believe that if they can just survive this war, then from their perspective, that will be victory. It's a very asymmetric war in many ways. And then also Iran still has, we believe, around 1,000 pounds of uranium enriched to 60%. So it's a big setback for Iran, this war. But in terms of its long-term impacts, it's less clear-cut.
So many important points there. Holly Williams, thank you so much for that analysis.